Yeah, bro. Like I was saying, bro. You lot do graveyard shifts, yeah? You lot do, bro. Producers stay up the whole fucking night, and the more successful I see it and I hear about it, I know this shit is real. The more successful you are, the more chances are that you're gonna be doing artists. Obviously, different artists are gonna be hitting you up at different times. A big artist might come through where when it's like midnight, whatever, and that's where they really do the work. It's like, how do you not sleep, bro? How do you not like? What is your yeah? How do you not get your proper sleep, and how do you not fucking rest? Honestly, big man thing.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it. You don't even think about it.
Hold on, bro. You don't.
You don't even think. You get your sleep in when you can.
Yeah, bro. That is one. Yeah, go on. Sorry, man. Bro. I've been so curious about that for a very long time, and obviously I've speak to here and there with producers and stuff. You get different answers, but it's like, yeah, for you personally, bro. How do you do it, bro? Yeah.
Just carry on till you drop. That's it. Until you can't keep your eyes open anymore, can't do what you're doing properly anymore.
Yeah.
You know when there's time to stop.
Yeah,
bro. And then you have your 6-7 hours nap.
Yeah.
Back at it.
Do you ever do you ever fall asleep like in studio? Have you ever fallen asleep while trying to make a beat or like in studio?
I've done while I've been trying to make a beat. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
And it'll just be when left and repeat, and it'll just get to like one specific bit in that beat. I'll be a bit loud. They haven't sort of the levels on it. It'll just wake you up. You're like,
oh shit, that's actually mad. Because for me, like, I always take it back to at the end of the day, we're all humans, innit? And I feel like our bodies need a certain amount of rest. It's true. Some people need more sleep than others, and some people can operate on lesser sleep, if that's the word, lesser sleep than other people, innit? But it's like, yeah, man, with producers sleep and rest, yeah, like in between. Because even with the way you said until you drop, I thought to myself, I know for a fact there's even probably producers that actually mean that shit. Yeah, you know what, bruv? Hey, I sleep a couple of hours here and there, bro. I need to be on this, and it's like, bruv, like, I think like that's one of the most important things. But you know what? Whatever works for people works for them. But yeah, like it's like when I was when I was making music back then and I was looking through tap beats, that's one of that also a little bit of that popped up in my head thinking, how do producers put like a price on a beat? Like how? Yeah, and I was just curious to ask different producers like how do you put,
yeah, I'm sure it's always different. I'm sure probably some of them probably are based it off someone just offering them X amount of money and then, okay, well that's what I'm going to set my price up then.
Yeah.
I think it's just different for everyone really.
Yeah. And to show people like maybe the value of a person or like maybe producers how they work with different people depending where on the relationship with that person or the stature of that artist or whatever. Like some artists, I think they don't understand where when people say like when producers wanna basically not charge certain people like for beats. Because a producer might see like the artist with already big numbers and the potential to do good together if they come together. Like, have you had that situation before where it's like you've gave certain people, like, certain artists, like, like instruct beats for free, but deep down, once you work together, like eventually the money will be made anyway.
That's pretty much
you
how
got
I
what I'm
work.
Okay.
I don't really like to like beat stars, this, that, and the other. I mean, I will be kind of using that still because certain artists might not want to build a relationship with you. They just want that beat. That's that. So not really much you can do about it. So you kind of just take advantage of what you can. Okay. But if you're in control of the situation,
yes,
I'm always one of them people that's like have the beat for free. Just we'll work out royalties afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, and the price of like beats, that went with producers and stuff like that. Yeah. This is a question mainly for me, but I know for a fact, yeah, probably certain people, especially up and coming artists, are gonna probably be like asking for this. Like, how do I don't know if even you thought about this as well before. Like, how do you put a price on a beat?
I think it's more to do with what you feel like it's worth. Just is it something that anyone can make? Is it how many hours have you put into it? How much you might have spent money on plugins to get that, so you might want to recoup your money back from that. I think there's a lot of different contributing factors to that.
Yeah, because up and coming artists could sometimes I know for a fact they're there. You know, like in terms of like being frustrated, thinking, bro, like why mama charging me? But these people get you going to he works with them for this and that. And sometimes I feel like some up and coming artists might get that misunderstood in terms of like how that process actually works. You get me? And and like you said, bro, sometimes just the relationship you might have with a particular a specific like artist, innit?
Yeah.
And yeah, like
I think artists need to give maybe, because I know this is kind of a thing like with the whole producer Twitter, is artists don't really seem to apparently give much respect to the graft that it takes
okay,
to make them beats. It's kind of like as if it's made in 10 minutes and that's that.
yeah,
It's like, well, why can't you just give me that?
mad thing. But deep down, they don't know that you've either days or even hours and hours and hours in
Yeah.
terms of like what you've put into that. Because I like this analogy as well, where it's like I don't know if I'm gonna say it properly, like, but basically like it goes along the lines of like basically when someone is so good at what they do, they make it look easy. They eventually start making it look easy.
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you can understand. So it's like I think with you producers, like you put in so many different hours, like and then obviously when you make beats, when a person listens to that beat now, they might forget how long, they might not really understand how long it took you to make that beat, but they might just listen to the beat and think, wow, maybe this, you got to say, maybe this person just made this beat like easily like this, you get me? And, but it's like, nah, hours and hours of craft has been put into that, you get me?
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Yeah, literally. I mean, I'd like to, like, when I have my own studio
Yeah.
at some point, I will be putting in like a sofa bed or something in there.
yeah, okay.
Because I think you should just stay in there, do what you got to do, and don't leave that room until you're done.
Yeah. And even having like a family, because obviously as a father myself, bruv, especially when they're younger, the late nights, the late fees, all of these things. Like, if you could, if you could take me like around back a little bit around that time into obviously family and to obviously doing your graveyard shifts in terms of like your production, how did you during around that time when the twins were born? Yeah, how did you manage that time, bro?
It was very difficult. It was very. You'd be able to zone in for about 20 minutes, stop what you're doing,
Literally, I
sort
couldn't.
the kids out, go back to it. Might be able to do it for another hour.
Yeah.
Then you got to stop again. Then you might have to stop for an hour. But you just carry on as soon as you have free time, just make use of it. Don't make excuses for yourself like, oh, I may as well just wait now, because that's time you could be using.
Yeah, and the price kind of like singers, you get me? Like singers, like what kind of like, if you thought about it, what kind of singers would you like to kind of be with? What kind of voices? What kind of vibes? Again, like because partly why I asked that as well, because in terms of like I feel like there's some very interesting like singers, but I feel like for whatever reason, maybe why the music is not really resonating the way it should or crossing over. It's because once again going back to what we said, producer, like the production or the people that they're working with, you know, they're not really getting the best out of them. You get me? So it's like, do you have in mind or just in general like certain specific singers that you like to work with or certain specific singers with a certain vibe? Like you get me? Like you like to work with or you've got an eye on?
Probably more towards R&B singers more than anything.
Yeah.
Try and it will probably be something I have to touch up on at some point, but I'll try and avoid just straight up pop. So I think it's just too generic.
Where is that? There's no, you don't, you know. Sorry, go on. Continue. You made me laugh.
There's just, I don't know.
That shit is generic.
It's just the same shit rehashed, but there's only so many times you can rehash it.
That's what I get. And radio.
It bores me. It's like
So what about if like on a real one, what about if like a big famous pop star like came to you and said let's work?
Then I'd be having to put my own twist on it.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, man, because bro,